Good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, May 6th, and we will get started here in just a minute. I see the notification went out that we have gone live, and Joyce has logged on already. Good morning, Joyce. We'll wait just a minute or so here and get started. Hello to you and Gary, Joyce. Good. I hope everyone is staying well. Good morning, Pegeen. Get started here in just a minute. Good morning, Ruth. Yeah. All right. And Dave and Leslie? Good. Good morning. So we'll get started here in just a minute. All right. Well, today is Wednesday, May 6th. Time is certainly flying by, and it's hard to believe that we're in May already and all of that. So today, Wednesday, May 6th, is National Nurses Day. And I think that now more than ever, it is important for us to express our appreciation to nurses, certainly. But in the midst of this time, I think expanding that to all of our medical personnel is really important. Those who are nurses, those who are medical assistants, those who are on the hospital and doctor's office cleaning staffs right now, and how they are working hard and diligently to make sure things are cleaned and sanitized between patients, and all of the personnel who are keeping us afloat in the midst of these times. Medical researchers who are, working on a vaccine, and so many people that are involved in caring for people and keeping them safe and ensuring safety for the long haul. So today, a special shout out to all of the medical personnel. And please, if you know someone who works in the medical field in any way, please send them a text today, or give them a phone call, or write a note or something to let them know how much you appreciate them all the time, but especially in the midst of this pandemic. So as I think about that, caring for others in time of need, a scripture that always comes to mind in the midst of that is one that's very familiar to us. Comes from Matthew 25, and I'll be reading verses 31 through 40. When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, then he will sit on the throne of his glory. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate people one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. And he will put the sheep at his right hand, and the goats at the left. Then the king will say to those at his right hand, "Come, you that are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. I was naked, and you gave me clothing. I was sick, and you took care of me. I was in prison, and you visited me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when was it that we saw you hungry and gave you food, or thirsty and gave you something to drink? And when was it that we saw you a stranger and welcomed you, or naked and gave you clothing? And when was it that we saw you sick or in prison and visited you?" And the king will answer them, "Truly, I tell you, just as you did it to one of the least of these who are members of my family. You did it to me." So just a reminder that that is what the Lord requires of us. Caring for those who are sick, visiting those who are in prison, feeding those who are hungry. That is what God calls us to do. And so even in the midst of this pandemic, sending notes to people, letting them know they're cared for. We have our little pantry that's outside of the church for folks who might need some pantry items. You could also give to that. These are many ways that we can be caring for each other and loving our neighbor in the midst of this time. So be sure today to reach out to those you know in the medical field, to thank them for their service, and to reach out to someone new today to let them know that you love them and that you care for them. Since that was from Matthew 25, I'll just highlight too that Matthew 25 is a ministry within Southwest Medina County, and they help people who have a need with utilities and things like that. And they are still working hard in the midst of this pandemic, and could certainly use some support in the midst of this as well. So if you wish to make a contribution to them, you can go on our church website, on our online giving part, and make a contribution to Matthew 25, or send a check to the church that says that your donation is for Matthew 25, so that through us we can continue to help other ministries too serve our community in this time. So just a few other things to share with you about our church. We have developed a great playlist or song list for our worship and song fest tomorrow evening. And looking forward to that. That will be here on Facebook Live at 7 o'clock and uploaded to YouTube afterwards. And we received great response. It's going to be a little bit longer than 30 minutes because of all the great songs and hymns that we'll be singing. So you'll want to join us for that. We will be sending out the song sheets so that you can sing along with us tomorrow. So if you are not on our email list and want to receive that information, just send us a message so we can be sure to get that to you. We may also be able to provide a link right on our page so that you can get that information too. So those are the things that are happening right now within the life of our church. Our leadership board is working on some exciting new things too that will be rolled out in the next few weeks to share with you about our church and its mission and how we have continued to be the church in the midst of this time. And I think that's important for us to remember that the church mission continues, even if our venue is a little different. We're still loving God, loving people, serving the world, and that's more than ever. It's important for us to continue to do those things. So good to be with all of you this morning. Thank you for your continued support of our church and its ministries. Share a little love with one another today. And special shout out to all the nurses and other medical personnel who are keeping us healthy and safe in this time. So I will be back here again tomorrow morning at 9:30 with some additional inspiration. And of course, as always, back at 10 o'clock, Monday through Thursday for story time with Pastor Robin. We have another fun one on the docket for today. Shout out to Ruth and her grandkids. It's one of their favorites that I'll be reading today. And a really special one tomorrow with some sound effects in honor of Rosie Marshall and her favorite story with some good sound effects tomorrow. So you'll want to tune into those two. So 10 o'clock today and tomorrow, and again, of course, 9:30 tomorrow morning with another scripture and some words of hope, and tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for Worship and Song Fest. So have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you later. Bye.